Posted January 17, 2018, 20 hours 42 minutes and 49 seconds. A transgender sex worker maintains she did not think she had any sexually transmitted diseases when she repeatedly had unprotected sex with a Perth man who was later diagnosed with HIV. Clayton James Palmer, who is now known as CJ Palmer, is on trial in West District Court accused of causing grievous bodily harm to the man by infecting him with the virus when they engaged in sexual activity in 2014 and 2015. The court has heard Ms. Palmer has male genitals but identifies as a woman. It is alleged she was criminally negligent because she did not take any precautions to prevent the transmission of the disease through her bodily fluids. Giving evidence today in her own defense, Ms. Palmer maintained that at the time she had sex with the man, she did not know that she had HIV. She rejected the evidence of nurse Joanne Morgan, who testified earlier in the trial that she visited Ms. Palmer at her home in September 2014 and told her that she had tested positive to the virus. Ms. Palmer said during their meeting they were both emotional because they were talking to each other about their lives, but she maintained there was no discussion with Ms. Morgan about the results of a blood test. She said 2 months later when she commenced having sex with the complainant, her state of mind was that she didn't think she had any sexually transmitted diseases because Ms. Morgan had not communicated anything to her. Ms. Palmer testified the last time she had sex with the man was around February 2015 and she said she was freaked out when, 7 months later, he contacted her to tell her he had been diagnosed with HIV and he believed it was her who had infected him. The court heard it is believed the man contracted the virus about 6 weeks earlier, and under cross-examination from State Prosecutor Benjamin Stanix, Ms. Palmer was questioned why she did not point out to him that she could not have been responsible for infecting him, because they had not had sex for 7 months. I didn't reply to that because I was in shock at his diagnosis, she told the court. Ms. Palmer admitted that she lied to the man by telling him she would get tested, which she did not do. She said, unlike him, she had not suffered any of the symptoms of the virus. My knowledge was very limited on HIV. I knew there was treatment for it and it wasn't like it was in the 80s, she told the court. Ms. Palmer also denied the claim that the reason she did not get tested was because she already knew she had HIV. I was not given a diagnosis in September 2014. I did not ignore it. I was not told, she said. Ms. Palmer testified the first time she officially knew she did have HIV was after she was arrested in New South Wales in 2016 and brought back to Western Australia where she was admitted to hospital. They didn't actually tell me I had HIV. They just told me what treatment I'd received, she said. The trial is expected to end later this week. Topics: Sexual health, law, crime and justice. Perth 6000.